Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. This is Jenny Oya with Nuggets and Things. I'd like to share something with you today. I guess you know I must start with a story. First, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that leave me the sweetest comments. I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for entrusting me for your time, right? Because your time is precious and you don't owe anybody, you know, that's your time. So if you choose to let me have some of your time, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Um, Today, I like to be able to share a little bit about our life struggles sometimes, right? Sometimes it may seem like it doesn't have an end, but it does. It really does. Um, I was listening to someone talk, we were talking on yesterday about the things that we do in our life, right? What counts? What counts? What is it that we want to do, we want to see? And then I heard someone say a very important thing to me. And that was, you know, sometimes you must move in silence. There's a lot of things you may have on your mind. There may be a lot of things you want to do. There's a plan that you have implemented, but some things you got to keep silent about. You can't share everything because your enemies are listening too. You know, your enemies got their ears in it too. They listen to everything you got to say, right? And then once they hear it, their job is to make sure whatever it is you just said, how can I mess that up for you? You know, how can I make you out of a liar? Because when you say you're going to do something, you want to be somewhere, whatever it is that you said, their job is to make it seem like that would never happen for you, right? So some things you got to do in silence. I like watching, not so much watching people play chess, because I don't. But I tell people I play chess every day. Not the board, board game that everybody's up on, but I'm playing chess in my mind, making plays, making moves within my mind of what I got to do to be 2 to 5 steps ahead of the one who's playing before me. And whoever that person or thing is, because it doesn't have to be a person, it could be an object, a situation, but you're strategizing all the time on what you need to do next. What's your next move? If they move here, if they block this, what's your next move? How are you going to carry out your plans? What are you going to do to make sure that what it is that you have in your heart, your mind, is going to come to pass? That's what it's all about, right? So be a chess player, right? And so I tell people, hey, I'm playing chess, baby. you know, don't know anything about the game itself, but I know the layout. You know, you ain't got to be a mechanic to know a little bit about cars, right? I've seen some great dads doing their daughter's hair because they said it's just me. Fathers who have taken on the responsibilities to raise their daughters because the mother is gone for whatever the reason may be. He is the main parent, the custodian parent, right? And he has daughters whose hairs need to be who hair. I'm sorry, needs to be done, and his job is to make sure his daughter looks good. Now, if I can't pay somebody to keep my daughter's hair up, I must learn what I must do to take care of my daughter's hair. See, that's somebody who has a plan. And they realize this problem, this situation here, I've got to what? I've got to overcome this. I got to make this work. I got to fix this. And not run away from it like a lot of people do. They run away from things. Sometimes we're good runners. We're just good runners. Situations come, we run. But there's time, to stand there and fight for what you believe in, for what you know. I learned something probably, oh gosh, 40 some years ago. Yeah, because I was in my sweet 20s then. And I remember I was unctioned not to do something. Don't do it, Jenny. So my spirit said, no, don't do it. And then I had people who I respected, that I believed in, and believed that they were on my side to tell me to do it. And now my spirit said no. But I got my leaders telling me that they were told to tell me yes. So I got leaders saying to me, you need to do this. And I got one, my spirit, my God, telling me, don't do it. What did I do? I went with the leaders because I believed in what they said more than I believed in what was said to me. And I did what I was told not to do. And I paid for it. Honey, wasn't weeks later. The same night. After I did it, that night I paid for it. And I went through a few years of that payment because I was disobedient to what my spirit said and listened to what they told me. Now, when I did what they told me and I began to suffer the consequences of what they told me, they were nowhere to be found. I couldn't find them. They just told me to pray it out. Now I'm in this situation now because I listened to those who I thought had my best interests at heart versus my spirit, my God, who said don't do it in the first place. And I learned something from that now. I don't care if the whole world is saying, let's do this. If my spirit said, you better not touch it, Jenny, Jenny ain't touching it. And y'all can say what you want to say, and that's crazy. That's dumb because, I mean, it's common sense would tell you can say what you want, honey. I could be whatever you say, but I ain't going to do it. Because I've learned hard lessons, honey. Because that was just one of my lessons. That wasn't all of them, you know. Because sometimes you want to listen to the masses. You want to listen to the majority, and you think the majority is always supposed to rule, and it's not true. Because it's the majority doesn't mean the majority is right. A lot of times they're wrong. I don't care what everybody's saying. I don't care what the trend is. I don't care what everybody's doing. You don't have to be in line if your spirit is telling you no. What they say about your intuition, right? Your spirit, God, your intuition, right? When you are in tune, the importance of being in tune now. When you are in tune with your spirit, in tune, honey. In tune means that you have taken out time to be in fellowship and relationship with your spirit. Not nobody else's, honey. Because I don't care what they talk about on TV. I don't care what they're saying on the podcast. I don't care what anybody else is saying. You need to be in tune with your spirit. Then you can get in tune with all other people. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who the leaders are. I don't care who the mega people are. I don't care who the masses are. You need to have a relationship with you. Your spirit. Because many times we get misled and misguided because we're not listening to our spirit inside because we're not in tune with it. We're in tune with everybody else's spirit. We're following the mass, what everybody else is doing. As what's that game we played when we were young? Follow the leader. Just follow the leader. And we're good at following the leader. But you are a leader also. Who's following you? And who can follow you if you don't even know where you're going because you're not in tune? You're not in tune with yourself. You don't have enough confidence in yourself to know that you too can hear. You can hear from your spiritual guide. You can hear. You can pray, intercede, tune into your God, your guides, your ancestors, your spiritual being, and you can hear That's what the meditation is all about. So I meditate night and day. That means all the time I'm meditating. I'm taking out time to be in tune. That's something about the monks. They get away from everything. You know, they don't have anything to distract them. So they can hear. They can hear a grasshopper on a leaf. They're in tune, right? They are spiritually in tune. And you watch people, you can tell people who are tuned in to the spirit, to the spiritual part of their life, right? So many people are caught up in the natural. You know everything is going on in the natural now. You know everything that's happening. Honey, you know who got married last week. You know who done broke up. Who's doing this, what's happening. You know all about the news. You know about everything except for your spirit. How much time you taking out with your spirit? Listening to your spirit. Talking, having a communication with your spirit. Lining yourself up with your spirit so that the two of you can walk together. You know? How can two walk together except they agree? I ain't talking about walking with this other person. I'm talking about walking with yourself and your spirit. Because you're in tune with it. And that way when someone starts talking to you, your spirit should kick in and say, listen or not to listen. Go or not to go. Do or not do. Because you got a driver too. You know? Hey, somebody shoots a word out there. You ain't got to follow that word, honey. You got to follow your spirit. But it's hard for you to follow your spirit if your spirit is not in tune with your God. That's simple. That's why it's so easy for you to do what everybody's saying. Because you running and going, ooh, good gracious. Because you don't know. Because you're not in tune. Because you ain't got to run every time somebody else is running. Ooh, gracious. Somebody take off running and you take off running. Don't know what they're running for, but you're running too. You know? I remember the time. There's my story. It was a dream. I'm more than sure I've shared it before. But for those of you who are new, I'm going to share it again. Because it's in tune with this message. I had a dream one night. Sweet 90s. Maybe, might have been, let's go 1990. Let's do that one. Okay, maybe 1990. I had this dream. In this dream, I had dreamed that before I had the dream, I was denied a job. I was denied a job working at a place I did not want to work at. I did not want that job. And they denied me. And they denied me because I told the lady she had a beautiful watch on. I said, oh, that's a beautiful watch. She said, thank you. She said, if you work here 15 years, you'll get one too. I said, I said, honey, I ain't trying to make a career out of this place. She was offended and got up and went into the office to tell them not to hire me. So they called me in the office and told me that I wasn't hired. And they gave me some crazy reason. I didn't care, honey, because I didn't want the job. No way. So I walked out happy. My neighbor, he gave me the ride there, and I come out there smiling. And he said, got the job? I said, no. He said, what you smiling for? I said, I didn't want that job. No way. But I had to act like I was trying to get this job, right? Because I needed some money flowing. So that's my beginning, right? So anyway, that night I had this dream. In this dream I had, I was going to this job. It's a big old building. Oh gosh, a big building. And so I get out my car to go inside this building, and everybody was running out the building. Hear the birds singing. I love it when they get excited when I go telling these stories. They just go to singing. But anyway, they all running out the building. And they telling me, run, run. I said, I need this job. That's all I was thinking about. I need this job. And everybody was running. It was like a horror movie, right? Like Godzilla was coming, and everybody was running because they tried to go to safety. And silly Jenny said, honey, I got to get this job. I'm getting this job. So I'm going inside the building. I'm telling you, they about to knock me down now because everybody's running out the building. I'm walking in the building. I get in the building to try to find a time clock. I find this time clock and I checks in, and I'm telling you, that building was clear. There's nobody in this building. So I'm trying to figure out, hey, I done checked in, so I'm getting paid because I'm on the clock. This is your girl, honey. So I walks inside this building, and the building had all these columns in it, right? These columns. And I'm standing there, like I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Because there ain't nobody here to instruct me, ain't nobody here to help me out, stuff like that. Anyway, all of a sudden, I start seeing something dark behind these columns. Like it was peeping out from these columns, and we would go back behind the column. And I said, what in the world is that? Right? And it was like, God, what in the world? And I knew whatever they were behind these columns wasn't good. And so as I was starting to get a little nervous about whatever these things was in this building, I looked, there was a man kneeling at my side. See, I am a powerhouse, baby. I'm trying to tell you, you got some power when you lean up to me. This man was kneeling at my feet. Woo! I'm getting excited. Just get ready to tell y'all the story. Every time I tell it, it's like it happens right all over again. This man kneeling at my feet, and I looked down at him, and I said, he had a bow by his side, and what's those things? A sheath on the back of his back, that you hold the arrows in. He had one of them, right? And he was kneeling by my side, and I'm standing, and this man is kneeling by me. Oh, you're drinking this water. I got to tell you this now, because I'm getting excited. And I looked at the man, and I says, who are you? Whew, he said, my name is Michael. I said, who? I'm looking down at him, right? And then he looked up at me the second time and said, my name is Michael. And he stood up. Cancel Christmas, honey. Here we go. When that man stood up, he pulled that arrow from his back, put it in his bow, and started boom. And every time he shoot that arrow, it was hitting whatever was behind those columns. And all I saw was those black things turn into nothing but light. And he was destroying these things. And I said, oh my God, you're Michael, the archangel. And I said, Lord, you didn't send me anybody. You sent me your best. I got Michael, the archangel, fighting for me. Now look, that's a long time ago. But don't you know every day I still know that's happening in my life, that I'm protected, baby. That was my highlight of my whole entire life. That right there, I woke up that morning. Honey, when I bounced, oh my God, I got a beautiful rabbit. I wish I could show. Oh, there's a beautiful rabbit. I can't use this camera fast enough to show you this rabbit that's coming up towards me. My life. Anyway, I'm not gonna be distracted, even though I still see it. I got that morning, and I got a call to work at a safe house, women who have been abused, as a counselor. Never went to college for it, honey, but I got the job. I got that job because I turned down the other one. When they declined me and rejected me, that was a blessing. They blessed me. That's why I walked out there laughing, because they just bless me. Sometimes when you're rejected, honey, it's a blessing. It's not, you're not being set up for failure. They're blessing you because they told you no. Your yes is going to be greater. It's going to be better, because that was not where you're supposed to be in the first place. I didn't want that job. I didn't want to work in that place. And I got what I wanted. But before I got what I wanted, I was blessed to be able to see Michael fighting for me. Against every principality, every evil and dark thing that was coming up against me, I had someone. I didn't have to fight. My brother said one day in one of the comments, we were talking about the Judas effect, right? And he said talking about revenge. I understood what he said. That's why I said, right? I wasn't saying, yeah, we're going to get it. I understood what he said. I knew what he was saying. And that's why I kind of, did that emoji, right? Because we don't have to go looking to get those who have attacked us. Honey, you got to believe. If you believe in karma, karma will get you. You believe in what goes around comes around, it's going to come around. You believe, you reap what you sow, you're going to sow what you done reaped. I don't care what it is you believe in. You got to understand this, though. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. There's a scripture there that says that. Those of you Bible readers, okay? Read your Bible sometime. I believe this. People who are in places that they are sent to be blessings to others that have been mishandled, misused, abused, talked about, mistreated, and almost set up, for destruction. Those people who have come against you, who have attacked you, who have meant you nothing but harm, you ain't got to worry about them. You got fighters, honey, and they will fight for you. And if you are a Bible reader, let me help you out a little bit. Well, there was a prophet there. There's a prophet. And this prophet said, I think that, hold on, time out. I think that rabbit's after he after my beans. I thought he wanted me. He's after my beans. Okay, break, we're back. So anyway, you ain't got to worry about trying to get even with nobody. When you are in the right place and you are doing the right things, and someone comes against you to attack you, to say all manner of evil against you, you ain't got to do no fighting. There was a prophet. The prophet, I believe, they said, oh, we're coming against you. And every time they would send, I think, 450 men against him. And before you know it, that fire would come down from somewhere and destroy these people. And then one time, there was a man standing there, and he said, let them see, the chariot of fire. All of those that are fighting. I ain't by myself. You think I'm alone. I ain't by myself. I got help. I got an army. Ooh, I like that song. There's an army rising up. Whew, what you talking about? I've got too many testimonies on how many times my enemies thought they had me set up and they was going to take me down. There's something about it, they want sugar. What they want sugar for? I ain't did nobody no harm, but they tried to get me. And look, I remember at my job one time, years back, honey. Ooh, probably about 14 years ago. They were trying, honey. I had people who used to be friends, right, was trying to get me, fired from my job. And they wanted me out, honey. But I told them I ain't going nowhere without my money. I said, look, I know they want me gone, and I want to leave. I want to leave, but I ain't leaving without my money. I need my severance. I need to get my unemployment, my 401k. I need all my money and my check. I'm on salary. I want all my money before I leave here. So every day I came to work, but I had a big, on behind me at my desk, I had this big sign, right, that says, if God be for you, He's more than the whole world against you. And every time my enemies walked into my office, honey, they had to read that sign because I wrote it real big. And so while they're supposed to be trying to talk to me, instead of talking to me, guess what they were doing? They were reading that sign, honey. You can't take me down. You can't destroy my life because I'm bigger than that. Okay? I'm bigger than that.